Flower in Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
Hello?
Hello.
You guys, I'm not Flower, I'm Keith.
Oh, well, are you in Phoenix?
Her.
We might have.
Yes, I'm talking for her. She's listening right here.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Hi, Flower and Keith.
You guys scared her off because everybody was making fun of the Indian guy, and she has a bad accent. She's Chinese.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, we weren't making fun of him for his accent, if that is.
Yeah, not at all.
The people in the chat were.
Okay.
Goodness.
People in the chat, look, not everybody has English as their native language. And it's very brave of people to call in speaking a language that is not their main language. We were making fun of Rand because his ideas were terrible, not because of his voice.
Oh, okay, but my wife has been a Muslim all her life.
Mm-hmm.
No other religion. And she wants to leave, but she's confused. You understand? I don't know how to.
Well, Keith, are you a Muslim?
For her sake, yes.
What were you before you met her?
A Muslim.
Oh, okay. But you have. You're saying for her sake. It sounds like you are not really convinced of Islam.
Yes, that would be correct. See, what she did today is she spoke to some of her family members. Mm-hmm. Now, she doesn't usually wear the head scarf, the tudong, as they call it, where she comes from. But she put it on so that she would appear to them to be Muslim.
Okay.
And she doesn't usually, normally, right now, she's not in front of the camera, so she doesn't have it on.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
And
and she does things to appear to be a Muslim. And
well, I'm very sad that she feels that level of social pressure to do something that she obviously doesn't really want to do. I think that that's a terrible thing to inflict on somebody.
The way I'm gonna say it, the way she put it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She says that her family, when she was little, they brought her through. They weren't rich and they weren't educated, or they were not. They were people that the Chinese were, all intent and purpose, forgot. She lived in northern China, born and raised there. And let me see, how can I say? And then when she came here, all things changed. She saw different things, different kinds of people. The weather is not, it's not snowing in, it's hot when it's snowing over there. You understand? Just a different thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she looked around and said, maybe this Muslim stuff isn't all real or all true, but she respects her family for bringing her up in the best way that they knew how.
Mm-hmm.
They're farmers for the most part and very, how can I say, successful at it where they live.
Yeah.
And they believe some of that is because they're Muslim, I guess.
I mean, you don't mean that they're successful because they're Muslims.
No, they're successful because they farm.
Right.
They do the work. But she wants to not fake anymore. This is what she's saying.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
well, it's possible to love and respect and appreciate someone for the things that they do and still not agree with them on some very important fundamental philosophical points. And there are lots of people in my life that I appreciate and enjoy talking to, but we don't see eye to eye on certain things. And I think that if your wife has a family that she feels that level of pressure from, that she has to put on this article of clothing that may symbolize sort of the subjugation of women, maybe they would try to make her feel guilty and tell her that she doesn't really love them if she were to come out and say that she didn't believe in Islam anymore. But I'm telling you that that's not true, and they're not connected to each other. Having a core set of philosophical beliefs is a very personal thing, and it shouldn't just be dictated by you automatically believe whatever your family raised you to believe.
Yeah, and I sympathize with her. Every situation is unique, for sure. But we've seen a lot of stories. We've heard a lot of experiences that people have had as far as having to stay in the closet when it came to their family. I mean, it's similar to what people that come out as whether any part of the LGBT spectrum, or even coming out atheist or non-believer, or switching beliefs from one belief system to another that's not the mainstream in your family, that it can create strain. It can be scary, honestly. And so the situation that you're describing, where she's putting on the head garb to try to emulate that she's still a part of that religion, it's not necessarily so uncommon. It's an experience that a lot of people do have, but it's hard to say that of like where you should go with it, because it depends on how she feels, how comfortable she is with that relationship. Does she know what kind of? I'm assuming she wants to keep a good relationship with her family. That's what it seems like from what you've been describing so far. That she values that relationship that she has with her family, and it's possible that they may accept her non-belief, just to be her as she is. But it's also possible that they may be very adverse to it. It just depends on the situation. But only you all know best for that situation and how they might react. It's so unique for me to say like you should do X. It's hard to really say that because it's your situation. It's your unique set of circumstances. But I'm not sure what she wants. That she's not here to kind of voice what she wants to get out of it. Like, I want a little bit more information before even delving into it at all. But I would just have advice for her to say kind of she needs to think about what she actually wants. Like, what kind of relationship does she want? Does she value it enough to keep this to herself, or is it worth it to her to go ahead and come out of that closet to them and be herself, and to kind of face those consequences, whatever those be. And I hate that that's even something that you have to consider, that anyone has to go through, to say that, oh, my family, they may reject me, they may kick me out, or they may cut me off and never want to speak to me again, or want to see my kids, or et cetera, et cetera. That is it's a definite possibility on that side. And so I feel so bad for her in that situation, that that's even something that she has to consider at all. But
yeah. Well, and also, I mean, I feel like I would be remiss not to just check for the sake of asking. She doesn't feel like her family would be likely to commit any kind of violence in retaliation. I mean, it depends on what kind of Muslim background she comes from. Does she?
Oh, no, she doesn't. Let's see. You mean physically threatened with physical harm?
Yeah.
No.
No,
I
she doesn't feel that at all?
okay.
Okay.
But some... well, this morning is I got on her pretty hard You understand what I mean about hiding? Because I caught her this morning doing what I just said. You know, wearing the hijab and talking to her family, and she, I don't know, she say hi.
Yeah. What's that?
She said hi, I think, in the background.
Hi. Hi, Flower. I mean, you're not saying this, but I also imagine it's a little awkward and uncomfortable for you because in order for her to keep up this pretense that she's still a sincere Muslim, there has to be some amount where you're basically called on to lie or at least not fill in things that you know in order to keep up the cover, right?
I want her to stop doing it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then the second, and then when she, let's see, how can I? When she, you know, I didn't like fuss at her a lot. Like I just kind of got on her, and then she said to me, "Do you know how would you feel?" She said she would feel like something like an illegal immigrant if she got distance from her family. Do you understand that?
You mean she would feel like she was
nobody, like a nobody, like you know, just somebody walking around that couldn't read or you know couldn't ask for directions or anything because to her family is like almost everything.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, there's this idea that people have that your family should always love and accept you unconditionally. And I can tell you from a lot of people I've talked to that isn't always true. So sometimes you just have to recalibrate who are the people in your life that give you the support that you need. And if you don't have enough of those people, and if it turns out that your family aren't those people because their love is conditional on you accepting this thing that they've always taught you that actually doesn't make any sense, then there's nothing wrong with, I mean, first of all, grieving the loss of that connection. That's perfectly valid. But then also going out and looking for other people to give you the kind of positive interactions that everybody wants in their life. And I hope that you are one of them, Keith.
I support her, but what I'm asking for is help. Do you guys have any help for people that are, because I don't really know what to do.
Is this a good?
I'm tired of this game that she's doing. That's all. I'm tired. You know, I know. But we need help. That's what I'm asking. Is there any help?
It depends what kind of help you're looking for, because maybe I don't know everything about your situation since I'm not talking to her. Maybe you guys need to work this out with a marriage counselor of some kind. Not because I think that, you know, like your marriage is definitely in trouble or anything like that, but because it sounds like she's doing something that's hurting you, and you are frustrated at this thing that is maybe an unfair burden on you, and you can't make her define her interactions with her family in a way that she doesn't want.
And it also sounds like it's important enough to her to keep doing this thing. She really values that relationship. That, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. Were you?
No. I mean, you're right.
I was also going to suggest for your wife that it may be helpful for her to talk to someone else in regards to this. I was going to suggest the Recovering from Religion hotline.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
For her to maybe call in and to talk to someone, a non-judgmental person, to kind of work through what she's feeling in regards to, your all's relationship between each other, her relationship to her family, and what she values, and kind of hopefully they can kind of help her flesh out what she's feeling to relate to you, like how she feels about this and how she wants to go about it. But that also could be helpful for her to be exposed to other options, other opinions on the matter, and kind of get a better understanding of, where she is and, what she's doing, how it's affecting you.
And you can find that at recoveringfromreligion.org, and there's a big green phone number right there on the front page that you can call if you want somebody outside to talk to. And I understand if she's uncomfortable coming on a TV show and airing out what she has to say in front of everybody, but it would be helpful for her to maybe talk to somebody who isn't us and isn't you, because sometimes that helps.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I got too emotional with her this morning. I'm writing what you said down right now. What was that? Atheist?
Recoveringfromreligion.org.
And it's a website, recoveringfromreligion.org?
Yeah, and there's a phone number that you can call on the front page.
Right, and it's just a service that's provided that you can just call and talk to a trained counselor about,
I'm not sure how trained they are. I mean, a lot of them are volunteers, and in fact, if for atheists listening to the show right now, they could always use volunteers. And so if you go to the same page, you can find out how to volunteer yourself.
Yeah, but there's training that's done. I talked to Daryl Ray about that a couple of weeks ago. There's training done before any volunteers are approved to actually work the Heartline. So, I would suggest that, and hopefully that can help her kind of understand what's in her head and help kind of relay that to you, how she's feeling, and hopefully try to get a little more understanding on where you both are coming from with this, and hopefully that can aid you in finding some kind of resolution that's mutually beneficial, hopefully.
Right, and between the two of you, in addition to that, I think that calling the show might be helpful to you, not because we're going to give you any brilliant advice, but because maybe it sparked a conversation that you weren't having, and maybe the thing to do next is talk to each other and see if you can reach some kind of understanding about how you're both feeling and how this clash is affecting your relationship, and see if you can work out some kind of compromise.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably... I'm gonna go to this website, and we're gonna look at it, and maybe, if she's talking, I'm pretty sure that she would talk one-on-one with one of your counselors, as long as it's not broadcast.
Right. It's a very different style than this, but that's just a one-on-one thing, and it's anonymous to a degree, and I believe that it was, it's very different than what you're doing right now.
Right.
Okay, she said she would, so let me go ahead and hang up because I don't want to lose this moment.
Okay.
Thank you,
guys. Tell each other you love each other, and good luck to you. Bye.
All right.
Bye.